said, it's from Freedom News TV. Let's get it rolling here. Sorry, I'm having to deal with a screen capture on top of a stream, so this is going to be kind of a choppy situation.
And these are Minneapolis police officers.
Just bear with me.
All right.
And I'm streaming my face because, you know, you guys.
Again, that's Olia Scootercast and Freedom News TV. She is on the scene.
What I'm going to do, because you guys can look at his stream in high def,
Olia reports sheriffs
to 360.
Olia reports sheriffs arrived on scene of ICE-involved shooting in Minnesota. Now, for those of you that are unaware, the sheriffs right now, there's a little bit of controversy with them as far as political controversy. They are being accused by some people, some protesters and advocates, as far as being complacent with ICE.
Yeah, I see. It's the chat.
Activity or working with ICE.
No more
and
chat.
so I'm not going to be surprised if people are going to be mad at the sheriffs right now. Recently, the sheriffs did arrest a legal observer standing outside of an ICE facility in St. Paul.
All right, folks. Sorry, I'm dialing it in on the fly here. I can't believe how I guessed 360 and that was like literally the only resolution I was able to pay at. Alright, but you guys
can see what that looks like
I'm reacting to and make it bigger on your screens and you guys can view it.
Gun or?
So, these are like, this is one of the first ones of these I've done. This is T-Spy. He's a good guy. He followed the Portland case very close. It's kind of early for me, but I mean, I was up doing editing.
All right.
And this is what
so something else I do want to point out, because I try to look at this level from all the different aspects here. Again, there's like a bunch of different stories going on in one video if you don't know what you're looking for. This is the most amount of people I have ever seen so far, as far as Minneapolis protesters or advocates showing up to a scene and, you know, being very upset. The last time I saw something like this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago when ICE was trying to stop people and look at identifications in the snow when it was snowing pretty heavily.
Oh, well.
But this is a lot more people. And I'm going to be honest with you, now that Chief Bovino is in the area, I would not be surprised if we see more pushback. Now, I'm getting a report here that tear gas may have been used. Let me see. And again, if you guys are just joining, make sure to please subscribe. If you're new here, we cover this stuff all the time. Make sure to please like the video. Helps out a ton.
Yeah, this guy's got a massive computer. I am not able to look up all this stuff for you guys, but I will definitely post this.
Again, from Kim Katie, USA.
You guys will be able to at least see a little bit of mine and then go to his and get the full video. I'm sure he'll drop clips of it later.
Okay, Kim is reporting tear gas and pepper pellets raining down. Let's see what this is. Sorry, guys. Again, we are doing this in real time. And somebody said, Bovino's groupies pad the numbers. Again, I have no idea what Bovino is specifically doing or what Border Patrol's specific mission is. I didn't even know they were there until this popped up.
Well, all
right, let's see what's going on here.
They pulled in the other night. They pulled in hard.
And I am very curious. Let's pay attention and see who is doing the pushback. That's going to matter. Because if it's the sheriffs, that changes the story. So let's see.
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck?
So, I'm just going to say this really quick. There's a decibel level problem with situations like this. People don't understand that, like, there's a noise ordinance and that they are going above and beyond the protocol to just literally cause chaos. This is all chaos. This is all a big distraction to cause Border Patrol to be discouraged with their jobs, and we're not going to sit here and allow our people who defend us to be unsupported in times like this. I honestly think it's a tragedy that we are so uneducated as a population that we think that we don't need police. Uh, they must have not took history class to understand why we are known as the world policemen, or what we even did to save the world over there in Europe. But I honestly think that people need to be, I don't want to say sent to a re-education camp, because that's what we fought against, okay? Because it sounds bad, but people need to be taught again. I mean, this isn't right. Like, you're going to sit here and think that breaking one law because they're breaking another law, but everyone's ears are being hurt. Everyone. The people watching the videos, the dogs that are in the room, everyone's being hurt. And, like, no one cares. Like, it's like, who cares, right? Because that's how they feel. Well, what about the land that, like the Native Americans feel some type of way? Minnesota, St. Cloud, these people's land. I mean, the Trail of Tears wasn't just for nothing. Okay, like we gotta understand that this is wrong on all types of levels, and like we need to fix it before other things start happening.
I cannot tell who did that, just so you guys know. Okay, so right here, this is either sheriff or border patrol, is what it looks like.
They're going after someone. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to get new. I'm not trying to get new. I'm sorry. I'm so okay. They're right in the face. Right in the face. Right in their face.
In the face.
Right in their face.
Calm down, kid. Calm down.
Can you guys tell who that was?
This guy, it doesn't matter. He's getting snow thrown at him.
And of course, people are throwing snowballs.
They're getting ready to shoot again.
Okay, so this looks like it is a federal element. It does not look like it's the sheriff's, from what I can tell.
They're getting hit. They just popped someone right in the face, point blank. Point blank. Sick motherfuckers.
So I do have to say, like, there is regulations to this stuff too. When we are out there and doing our thing with airsoft, I had to get a gun that was to a specific rating, like 440 feet or psi, pounds per square inch. Like it shoots out. Or I forget, like honestly, the exact terminology. It's been so long. It's actually been 10 years since I had the gun. But what I'm trying to say is you need protection equipment, because it is dangerous and you can have something go wrong and an eye taken out. And so this is definitely not, or tooth or something. Something can happen.
Here you go.
It's definitely not any reason to be shooting people in the face. I mean,
someone over?
And now this guy's in the way because he thinks he's a hero. These guys are gonna get arrested or something. Something for doing what they just did.
Whoa!
See that right there? That's something that's not okay.
Were you guys able to see that? Did I get that in the screen for you guys?
I mean,
somebody
I
just broke the window.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
I'm gonna try to catch up here.
But this is very bad.
I'm not sure if you saw the news, but Fox News is claiming President Trump is declaring
antagonize. If any, they have the permission.
Sorry, D-Splat, they'll
especially with Chief Bovino in the area. This is a
okay.
These guys don't play around.
I got your back, man. They don't need to be scared. They're just doing what they were told. When they're in an unsurpassable force, look at how many people are blocking the road. And spitting at an officer is literally an assault. So all these people throwing snowballs, I mean, this isn't a joke. People think it's a joke, and it's not a joke anymore. Like,
is it? Yeah, never mind.
Like, that's why that happened. They're exasperated.
I'm wondering if the police got involved or the sheriffs. They went after that person.
People from Portland, so like they're not.
No idea.
They're not having a good
time.
But
shout out
Olia
Scootercast. I see you.
They're sellouts, but they're patriots.
One of my favorite journalists.
So you guys gotta fix that. They're out here trying to catch the people committing treason against our country, and you're gonna throw snowballs at them. Why? Because you guys are complacent with treason. You think it's okay. I don't think it's okay. Use this mic as a weapon, and I will let everyone be put on blast here. I'm going to try to upgrade my quality here and catch up here. And I'm going to try to reconnect because it seems to be getting popping off right here. I want it on a
I will say, this
res.
is not the first time something like this has happened as far as like an aggressive...
Sorry, T-Swipe.
Not the whistle itself, but the whistle within context of this. Little history lesson on whistle use from protesters. That's how deep we go with these stories, people. So make sure to please subscribe. All right, let's see what else we got. Again, that was Kim Katie USA. Thank you for that video. Again, we don't like to see this. We always advocate for peace on my channel, but I'm a little shocked that for those of you just joined, we're demanding ICE to leave the city immediately. We stand rock solid with our immigrant and refugee communities.
What I'm trying to say is, but none of them were vetted. So how can you stand solid and you don't know where they came from? Bro, like, this stuff is treason. There's nothing about this that stands any resemblance of peace and order. You are literally feeding people with your tax dollars that don't belong in the country. How else can we explain this to you? If it starts with food, what else are they going to want for free? People are getting complacent. I mean, this is beyond. They come from nothing. They're okay with having nothing.
Of
but
this
then when they became not
shooting
okay
victim
with it,
was not
here, they wanted everything.
immediately known to us, but it is
why couldn't they do that
quite
over there?
dire
You
from
explained to
all
me
the
why they
witness
couldn't do that where they
accounts.
came from.
Beyond
why couldn't
that,
they make their homeland
they said that it took
just as good as
another
our
5 or 10
native
minutes
land?
for
This is where we came
Minneapolis
from.
police to get
This is
out
where
here.
I mean, if you want to say
we're
colonizers, the people alive today were born here.
But what they do is
and you want to get all nitty gritty with this
that's what
BS,
doing
but
right now.
The whole anchor baby thing is a whole nother situation where they did it because they thought they were legally covered. If they didn't think for a second that they were covered, they wouldn't risk their lives coming over here and being insurgent cells of this.
Not the biggest
You're
one
going to
here
tell me
at
for
all.
2 minutes that you thought that
crowds
was
get
okay.
bigger as you go down
You guys
Portland,
just
down
obviously didn't
towards
pay attention in
34th.
history class
But they're making
when you
sure
were
that
taught
the crowds
why that was
and
put
the law enforcement on the scene here still conducting an investigation. That there's no interaction between them that gets too negative, as you mentioned earlier.
And look, the last time this happened in St. Paul, the Twin City, there was an investigation as far as cooperation between the local police and with Homeland Security. So keep that in mind. In my opinion, I do think there's going to be a political fallout from this. I hope there isn't, but if we look at the past patterns of what we saw in St. Paul, and the Sheriff's Department also getting a little bit of flack for their involvement of cooperating with ICE. And by the way, this would be considered by a lot of people like cooperation in a negative way where people wouldn't like this. So I will be paying attention to this aspect of the story and see. And look, we just saw the mayor say, he's shifting the blame to ICE as well. And as we know, the mayor and the police chief, they work in conjunction of one another to try and, protect their city. So I am curious what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you most.
This happened in Portland. Portland police were working with ICE agents as far as protecting the streets in the city at the Portland ICE building where we saw a lot of the clashing. And then out of nowhere, mid-June, you didn't hear from them or see from them. They were observing, but they did not step in. That's because there were accusations of them working with ICE.
Departed, but I can definitely say many of them have departed. I'm looking off to the side here now because I'm seeing a line of flashing lights starting to approach, but I think that's probably Minneapolis police. Right. I heard earlier that Chief O'Hara was out here on the scene. We have not gotten an update. In fact, some officers just told me they're still working on when he might become available to give a press statement, but we have not heard when he might become available to give a press statement, but we have not heard him pinned down yet when that might happen. He has been out here. It doesn't look like Minneapolis police, does it, Russ? No. It's other police agencies here.
Yeah,
So
you know, Corin, we do.
Transit on the scene now.
Okay,
Yeah.
we do know. Obviously, we have seen the police chief in our pictures and different. It looks like he still is there on the scene. We do know Hennepin County is there. To your point, multiple agencies here. While I have got you here, I just wanted to share this statement we just got from Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty. Releasing this, we are aware of the shooting at 34th and Portland. We have been in contact with law enforcement leaders, the Attorney General, the Governor's office throughout the morning, and are pushing hard for a local investigation, which is the only way to ensure full transparency and.
Yeah, guys, again, I will be looking at, there's going to be a lot of different aspects here. I mean, I can only imagine what the police chief is going to say, again, considering the mayor just really shifted this blame of chaos to ICE. And to be honest with you, you know, we don't like to see stuff like this. You know, we don't want to see clashes. We want agencies to be able to do what they need to do. Protesters do have the right to protest, but when it starts to cross that line and you see the clashes, this is what happens in a lot of these sanctuary cities. And so as far as the political fallout and the different sides of the story, I mean, I'm really curious what the reactions are going to be to this investigation. And this, in my opinion, I think will really set the tone for what's to come. Because... and I don't think this is going to happen. I hope it does. If the mayor and the police chief miraculously say, you know, ICE was defending themselves and they had to do what they had to do, you know, that takes a lot of weight off of ICE and what happened here. But if it's the other way around, where the rhetoric is like, this is all ICE's fault, you know, they did everything, and Bovino's here, tear gas, you know, that, yeah.
I think it's
that
all
could set
propaganda,
a tone that probably wouldn't be favorable for federal operations.
As the ICE agents have kind of slowly left the scene, I think that the level of anger seems to have kind of subsided here among the folks who have gathered, whether they are neighbors who live in this area or folks who are gathered here as observers, or, you know, city council members who are out here. Many of them have been out here to check out the scene. You know, we know the governor's office is aware of this.
Right.
We know Mayor Fry had warned that this would be one of the things that he was most concerned about happening during the surge.
That is true. The mayor 2 weeks ago, during his speech with Governor Tim Walz and the former mayor of St. Paul, Minnesota, he did say verbatim he thinks eventually somebody will eventually get shot. So
that's not a Nostradamus thing, dude.
Did say that.
People you have had the chance to speak with, aside from the first individual, the first witness, who said he saw what happened. Any of those folks have any kind of video, anything that would help us tell the story a little bit more accurately?
Almost 1 million people we lost.
Yeah, I did talk to a few of them and saw one video that it would hopefully get shared with me soon. But his video just showed the folks, the physician who was outside of this line, who was asking to be let in. The incident itself, I believe, like from what they're all telling me, this developed very quickly, and so I don't, you know, unless your phone was already out recording, you know, the honking and the horn blaring at the ICE, you know, movement down Portland. Oh, there's the chief of police right here.
All right, let's see.
But unless you were already recording, it sounded like, you know, you would have had to get that, you know, it happened too fast to pull up your phone and start recording the actual.
Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of like, we just don't have the official statement. So I don't even want to talk about what could have happened, what may have happened. I think it's important, you know, we have implications here. As we know, the reason why ICE would ever discharge something like that would obviously because of they felt the need to, they felt like there was a threat. So we can make that honest assumption, but I really want to wait for Homeland Security to come out what they have to say. I mean, you have unverified reports of somebody tried to smash a car, they tried to run away, things like that. Again, unverified.
In their activities here.
Not saying it's not true, but we just don't have that statement from Homeland yet.
For official confirmation, what we're hearing at this point, other than the fact that it is an ICE-related shooting, is witness account. You mentioned the neighborhood. You're there, ground level. Is this strictly homes? Are there any businesses around, or does this look like just strictly residential?
Portland here, haven't seen a single business. It's all residential here, east and west of here. I know that we're not that far from 35W here, but Not a whole lot of businesses in the immediate presence here on Portland, at least. But, you know, Powderhorn has businesses.
Okay, so that's that. Again, we are just sort of waiting for some reactions and statements. Let's see if Homeland said anything. What ends up happening in a lot of these situations, it really is who's the first to put a statement out, is what I've been noticing.
Well, isn't that how life's going right now? Who runs the
Homeland
narrative
Security
of the country?
recently has been very quick to try and put a statement out as far as clarification or let people know we are aware.
Unbiased. That's all we want. We want the news. We want people to be objective.
Somebody said Fox
listeners.
News is reporting that the woman rammed into a car.
You listen to it and you think,
I can look that up. This is from Kim Katie,
true?
USA.
And then when you find the facts of it's true, you can't stork it. You can't put your neck into the sand and pretend it's not happening. You have to do something about it. And this is us doing something about it. When we found out there's fraud, we're doing something about it. Quit saying, I hate when people say, oh, there's fraud everywhere.
Yeah, I obviously cannot show you the inside of this
because there was
video,
fraud in the
but
past,
you guys can go look that up yourself as far as some other angles.
We shouldn't be considering the people.
And right now, there's also like this congressional hearing going on as far as what's happening in Minnesota. So there's a lot of different. Not everybody is talking about this.
Even if you let's say let weed out on the table, and like you didn't explicitly say they could have some, but you smoke it with them. It doesn't mean that they can just
Border
create
Patrol.
all of your stuff and just be okay with it.
And again, I don't know if you guys saw, there's videos of the Coast Guard
and they don't want you to have your
raiding
stuff, then let them.
oil vessel.
But think of it this way: do we really want people in our house?
So yeah, that's all we know as of right now.
No. So
yeah, the windshield is broken. Correct. Let me see if Fox News is reporting what that person said for you guys. I am not seeing that report. Apologize for my clanky keyboard. Nope, I am not seeing that report. It's mainly just a lot of the overlapping of reporting.
That's causing that. I realize I'm having that problem myself.
Omar did not win his mayor race. Yeah, even this news report is not saying what's going on.
Everybody doesn't know what's going on, but we're trying.
So that is all we know as of right now, guys. I don't want to create speculation or create like hype or drama. This is all we know. All we know right now is there was a shooting. Possibly the person rammed into Homeland. Possibly the person tried to run away. We know that Chief Bovino is there. I think that's a really, really big deal. It goes to show that it is all hands on deck. And what we also know is that protesters are super upset. We know that the mayor has shifted blame to ICE, which is just a general statement because there's other federal agents out there. And I saw some people saying the Elon Musk comment. I didn't know what you guys were talking about. I did not see that Elon actually commented on the mayor's
donkey.
All right. If you guys haven't already, just make sure to please subscribe to my channel. I will be giving you updates. I might do another live stream on more reactions, or I might do another hard post, like an actual detailed video. But I am going to be doing more live streams as well. I want to be keeping you guys updated. So again, make sure to please subscribe and like. Notifications on helps out a lot. And I really appreciate all of your guys' support. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. And I always try to be as fair as possible. I appreciate you guys for actually liking that aspect and not just trying to be so one-sided that we're missing complete aspects of the story.
You have to be unbiased.
So thank you again, guys, for everything.
Veteran to veteran, man. Good job. Keep it up.
I really want to do reactions. I am really curious what the city council. I am so curious what the chief of police has to say. I am very curious. Because again, if all the blame gets shifted on ICE like we're seeing here, even though it's Border Patrol out there and other elements.
Sorry.
Like we saw in other sanctuary areas, in my opinion, it can end up in a very negative aspect for Homeland as far as moving forward, having any sort of community trust, because Homeland does rely on community trust and getting some help from their neighbors too. So,
I mean, wouldn't you want that though?
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to pay attention to your phone. I might do another update soon, but thank you guys again for everything. God bless, and we'll see you all later, and please pray for peace. We need that right now.
Safety and peace,
Thank you guys for
everyone.
everything. Thank you.
Bye.